So this is the suite.
This is the room. This is all we could find, but hey, it's a shelter just to charge up the batteries. Take a number 2, and then get out there and chase Hurricane Delta. I'm glad you're here, Reed. I didn't want to be alone on this one.
You think this structure can hold up?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've got one of the barometers already deployed. In case we end up not coming back to this room, we can leave that here for a measurement here. But I'm glad you're here, man. I'm glad you're here, Reed. All morning long I've been trying to figure out this hotel situation. And hey, we got one. Beautiful, beautiful view. So, can't beat that.
Can we get out of the balcony out there?
I tried to open this.
No, probably not.
Because I was thinking we could put the subsonic, like wedge it in there somewhere. It's out of the rain.
Yeah.
If we could get this open.
I could even stash it in the rental.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
show me the supplies you got.
All right, so I walked down to the local gas station and got a few supplies. Unfortunately, there's not many gluten-free things for myself, so I'm gonna be eating a lot of M&Ms and Snickers. But Reed, you can have burritos and all this good stuff. Got plenty of water. I think we're gonna get trapped here a few days. The airport's just right up there, and if it takes a direct hit, we're gonna be seeing the inside of this room for probably 4 or 5 days, maybe. I hope not. But hey, if we cover a Cat 5, that's why we're here. So it sure looks like promising. It could happen. 155 mile an hour forecasted winds, 1 mile an hour short, but basically it's gonna reach Cat 5. What do you think, Reed?
Yeah, I think it's gonna reach Cat 5. Definitely. The strongest hurricane I've ever intercepted, and we're gonna be front flight quadrant. This is extreme meteorologist Reed Timmer in the city center of Cancun, ahead of a rapidly intensifying Hurricane Delta that has intensified more rapidly than any other hurricane in recorded history, even more so than Hurricane Rita over the last 30 hours. And the hurricane now has max sustained winds of 145 miles an hour. People across Cancun are preparing, boarding up residences. In fact, even the coastline, the coastal strip right along the coast has completely evacuated out here, and we're starting to get some rain coming in, the very outer bands, well in advance of Hurricane Delta. A very little bit of good news is that the hurricane is moving at a decent clip, but it does look like definitely substantial winds expected here early morning tomorrow morning, likely in excess of 150 miles an hour with this hurricane. And in fact, the National Hurricane Center at 6Z tonight is officially forecasting Hurricane Delta to have maximum sustained winds of 155 miles an hour, just shy of Category 5 strength. And earlier it had about a 4 nautical mile wide eye, which is an incredibly compact storm as well. The inner core, additionally, is very compact. So even though the conditions right now are relatively calm with some light rain coming down in the outer bands, conditions are going to deteriorate rapidly late tonight through tomorrow morning. The worst of the conditions could arrive right near daybreak, and a very small, compact eye, again, as I mentioned, in a tornado threat, could also be ramping up in these outer bands as we get a little bit closer to the inner core. We're just a little bit inland away from the coastline here, but we've got a solid concrete structure to hunker down in. We're also measuring microbarometer data with a subsonic sensor out here to track those tornado-like vortices that will be whipping around this rapidly intensifying hurricane. But your heart definitely goes out to the people here in the path of this storm, this very dangerous storm. And after it bypasses the northern Yucatan, likely causing substantial damage here, it's going to move into the Gulf of Mexico, regain some intensity, and then approach the central Gulf Coast. It looks like Friday night. So right now I'm getting the subsonic sensor ready to go. I've talked to Mark, and with Hurricane Delta strengthening just offshore with max sustained winds of 145 miles an hour, it's already generating all kinds of gravity waves. There's asymmetries in the circulation as it's exploding. So I rented a vehicle down here in Cancun, and the plan is to put the subsonic sensor in the back of the rental, and that way it can record all the gravity wave action happening around it as the hurricane comes closer. Right now the forecast track is shifting a little bit south, closer to Playa del Carmen, between here and Cancun, but I think it's going to wobble back to the north. So we're going to hunker down here, get a few hours of sleep, and then in the morning we're going to have to position maybe a little bit south, maybe hang tight here in the city center of Cancun. But it's going to be more of an urban assault type of an intercept here in Cancun. And that eye passing just to the south is going to put the front right quadrant, the most powerful part of this hurricane, right over Cancun. So here in about 6 hours or so, conditions are really going to start deteriorating outside, and that's when we're going to have to make our final move and our final intercept position. But first, we got to start collecting some data with this hurricane just offshore. So I'm putting the batteries in here to power it up. I'll connect to the device, and then we'll start collecting data already well ahead of this historic hurricane. It's already on.